All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started, boys. Time to begin our anxiously awaited, eagerly anticipated build updates. All right, every day we've been starting off with a build update, and I've been really enjoying posting these on the YouTubes. We'll keep the Q&A rolling, we'll keep the stream going, but just give me a few minutes to walk you guys through my build. And if you guys are having questions on your builds and what I'm doing and what you should be doing, let's take a look at things together. All right, so to review, what we're doing is we're doing a just meathead muscle masher dual two-handed weapon, no mana, no chance to miss. Every problem to this guy is a nail and he's a hammer. All right, it's like, hey, I'm running out of mana, what should I do? Don't use mana, just use your health. It's like, okay. It's like, hey, my accuracy is a little bit low, I'm missing attacks. Like, don't worry about accuracy, just hit every single attack and never crit. It's like, okay. My damage is a little bit low, what should I do? Get another weapon in your other hand. It's like, and hit them with 2 weapons. This will do more damage. It's like, okay. So it's like, hey, so what should I do about my stats? Anything interesting? Only strength, no dexterity, no intelligence, only strength. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we'll do then. Cool, so sounds good. So that's what we're doing on this character. That is what I went into this character imagining, and we're creating it. So again, I love the idea of this build, and that's really what this is all about, is taking an idea and trying to have fun with it. And I am much more making this build with the intention of having it be like thematically what I want it to be, and it's less of like, hey, this is guaranteed to be really effective. Thankfully, so far it's been going pretty good. I will say I was getting my butt kicked in Act 3, but now we're in Cruel difficulty, and it feels really good. But I think Act 3 was mostly just a matter of like just getting defenses together. But one thing that happens with this build is because we do have so much travel going to these keystone passives, and we are trying to get some stats along the way, is we don't have a lot of these like percent increased damage nodes, percent armor nodes. We're kind of trying to solve problems as we go, and periodically you can get a little stretched out and the build feels like a little bit lean. But then, you know, you get your next strength breakpoint, you put on 2 new weapons, right? Or you get like some nice regen and you kind of fix every problem as you go, right? So at first it was like, I'm gonna beeline to the 2-handed dual wield thing, and then we had that and we were doing some damage, right? And it was like, ooh, but I feel a little bit squishy, so ooh, okay, let's get some armor. And it's like, oh man, I hate mana. Let's go get some blood magic. I can actually even show you how that went. We came all the way down here through the top side getting damage. We came all the way here, swung down here, got Giant's Blood, and then we went over and grabbed a little bit of armor and stuff after that. And then I was sick of mana, so I went up here and grabbed blood magic, but then we needed to get recovery, so we went a little bit of, I think we actually got this first. We got a little bit of recoup. Any physical damage prevented, or 15% of it is recouped as life, but I hate mana, so I wanted to get blood magic, right? And then it was like, okay, now we really need to solve our defenses even more. So we ascended, and we ascended for life. By the way, we're ascending today, and we're going to change this. We're going to finally go all the way over here to hulking form, and then we're really going to ascend. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, yesterday we ended up getting savored blood, so that we life leech more life, but it life leeches slower, which just makes it a longer leech effect, which is cool. Life leech right now is only like 1 second long, so now this makes it a little bit longer, which is nice. We also grabbed some extra life and stun threshold, so I'm not getting stunned myself. We also grabbed resolute technique because in Act 3 we started to miss, and I'm like, I don't want to worry about accuracy. I just want to never miss, but also never crit. It's fine. We also, throughout the course of time, picked up more strength here. I'm really thinking I want to just grab these strength nodes next before I do anything else for today. But there are some pretty cool 2-hander things, right? And I mean, they're not far off, right? They're singular purpose. You attack more slowly, but you do way more damage, and getting these little nodes along the way is also going to be nice. So we are probably going to be looking at damage. I think my recovery is going to be okay. I definitely want to work on my defense more. All of those things are going to be super important. But so far, the build has just been super, super fun. And you're taking an idea and you're working with it. And there's part of me that thinks that Giant's Blood, let me move this. Part of me thinks that Giant's Blood is probably actually not even good early game, But it's like, if you want to go on that particular challenge of you beeline it to dual wield two-handers and you just roll with it, and then you just solve the problems with your build as you go. But this is kind of where we're at right now at level 50. We have ascended for life. We have gone top side for damage all the way to Giant's Blood. Then we came back for a little bit of defense. We add a little bit of strength. I also went for this heat proofing thing because you have, like, I don't know about you guys, but you have such little resists early on, and resistances are so important for taking less damage. But now at least my armor applies to some of the fire damage that I take from hits. We got recoup for healing. We have lifesteal for healing, and I have a little bit of stun buildup and stun reduction, but I also wanted the percent strength on there. We also have a little bit of extra life and stun threshold with more strength, and then we have the inability to miss. So I wasn't sure about resolute technique for a little while there, but when I first made the build guide for the video, I was like, or not build like guide, but like sort of like plans. I was like, all right, the 3 things that I want are all right here. I want blood magic, I want resolute technique, and I want 2 big old weapons. And so I really kind of pathed to those early. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling out the tree a little bit. So we did a lot of travel early on. What's up? Did a lot of travel early on, and now we're going to start filling things in. And now we're also going to have hulking form, which makes all of these little minor passive skills, these little guys right here, not the big ones and not the travel nodes, but all the little things along the way, we're going to get an extra 50% effect from all of those, which is going to really beef our guy up. So today is going to be a really exciting day. We are going to pump hard. I can walk you through my skills a little bit. I think there's also some things with my skills that I'm excited to try. I want to try like some certain combos. Like I want to try Earth Shatter with Stampede. That sounds really cool. You throw a bunch of spikes down and then Stampede will detonate all the spikes. I think that sometimes maybe they only detonate with a war cry, in which case we'll have to go seismic cry. But anyway, I like that idea. We're still rocking with Rolling Slam into Bone Shatter as like the main combo. And before I forget, we are in Cruel difficulty now, and I do want to mention that going from like normal difficulty to Cruel difficulty feels like going from Ruthless PoE, where like the drops are less frequent and the gear isn't as powerful, and then you go to normal mode. I think that going to Cruel is when the gear starts to look like normal Path of Exile items. Like, I'm not very far in, but like you start to get stuff like this, right? Like, double resists with life. I mean, like, that's the kind of gear that you see in Path of Exile 1 normally at the beginning of the game, but like, you're living pretty lean. But I think that once you get to Cruel difficulty, it's gonna start looking like you're gonna get much better like gear and juicier stuff. So hang in there. But just for the purpose of kind of the progression of where we're at with the video, I've got Rolling Slam with Fist of War and Brutality right now. All of this is very subject to change. I'm super interested in like testing things and switching things around, and that's just been really fun for me. But we can take a look at this. So I have Overpower with stun buildup, or sorry, Mace Strike with Overpower stun buildup. I have it with Rage, and I have it with Life Thief. So we're attacking, we're building up stun more easily with these. We're building Rage, which makes me do more damage with all my attacks, and then I'm doing a little bit of life stealing, which is really chill. Rolling Slam is just kind of like a nice initiator. Sometimes you can just like do one first tick of Rolling Slam into a Bone Shatter if you have enough stun threshold, and that feels really good. You don't need the second hit of it. I'm thinking I might do that with Earthquake though today. I'm gonna try that out. Just like drop Earthquake, see if it stuns them enough to Bone Shatter, and then Bone Shatter them, and then Earthquake explodes too. That could be cool. Bone Shatter, Impact Shockwave I think is pretty dang mandatory. It makes your Bone Shatter AoE, which is crazy when you actually heavy stun and you're always using Bone Shatter when they're primed for stun. I'm using Execute so that when enemies are on low life, they take even more damage. So when you Bone Shatter something, you're gonna get like a big heal from all of your leech off of that. So Bone Shatter becomes your Victory Rush and your Execute if you guys play WoW. Leap Slam, okay guys, Holy Descent. I got this in Act 3 at some point. Oh my goodness. This is so good. So supported skills, Leap Slam, creates Consecrated Ground for 4 seconds. Consecrated Ground, you regenerate 5% of your maximum life per second. It is so nice to like Leap Slam down, set your feet, and have like a nice healing thing. We're live, I'm just not doing a lot of like Q&A because I'm trying to like go through my build guide like first thing. We're gonna do lots of Q&A, lots of streaming, lots of gaming, lots of popping out throughout the day. But we're doing a little build recap update. I do these every day. I love doing them. We'll post them on YouTube for you guys and we'll keep them going. But yeah, we're kind of just like in the zone right now going over my build. But what's up, man? Welcome. I also have martial tempo, so I can attack a little bit more faster with that. Shockwave Totem, I like it. I may be replacing Shockwave Totem for Earth Shatter, though. I think they serve a similar purpose, but we'll see. It is nice that it kind of like aggroes a little bit. But I have my totem applying a bleed, and I have it just costing less right now. I might do something else there, though. We'll see. For Infernal Cry, I have it bleeding opponents, everything around me with Corrupting Cry, and I have it empowering my next hit, so I can like War Cry into a big, you know, rolling slam on a boss, something like that. Stampede is like this charge thing. I have it triggering shockwaves when you take steps, and I have it doing more damage, which is kind of fun. The less attack speed is kind of troll because it's a movement thing, but it's all right. Overwhelming Presence. This is a like a reduced stun threshold thing that you can use single target on bosses with Vitality socketed in. Time of Need is another aura that you can socket in with Vitality on bosses if you need to heal better. And then Herald of Ash is what I use most of the time for clear. It causes enemies that are overkilled to explode, dealing ignite damage. I have it doing more AoE. Or sorry, more damage in a smaller AoE. And then I have it healing me. Any aura I use, I'm only using one aura at a time, but I'm putting Vitality in it so that it heals me a little bit over time. That's the plan. So those are my skills as a gear update for you guys. What I'm looking for on my gear is armor, life, resist, strength. Anything that has armor, life, resist, strength, that's exactly what I want. Obviously, I can't usually have all of those things, but that's what I'm looking for. Armor, life, resist, strength. So this has armor, strength. Cool. And I socketed resist into it. The weapon is 103% increased fizz. Leeches 5% of damage is life. That was it when it was blue. I regaled it, and it gave me lightning damage, which is not really what I want, but whatever. Gloves, armor percent, life. Excellent. The life per enemy hit, enemy killed is whatever. The increased critical damage bonus doesn't do anything for me. Mana doesn't do anything for me. Whatever. But it's got some things that I like. It's got flat armor, percent armor, and life, right? And then we added resist to it, so it looks pretty good. My flask. For flasks, you really want to get the gain charges per second because that's what's going to help you on bosses, right? That's going to help you on bosses. I'm mostly socketing in resists in my armor, and then in the weapons, I'm just doing extra physical damage. Yeah. Then for this one ring is pretty nice, huh? It's got resist on it, and then it also has the resist on the stats, and then life. So double resist life is awesome. My belt is just like a flat armor belt with life and regen, so this is not that great, but I've had it for a while. We're gonna need to upgrade that. My chest piece is very good. I have 2 fire resist thingies in it. It's got armor, it's got life, it's got strength, it's got lightning resist. Stun threshold is cool, and it actually even has room for an exalt if we want to throw an exalt on there to maybe get percent armor, which would be nuts. These are just strength increased armor boots. Not that great, but you know, it's got strength on it at least. My other ring has lightning resistance, a little bit of cold damage, which doesn't do much, but it does have life leech, and so I do like the life leech. We have 3 sources of life leech on both weapons. Spoiler alert, the weapon is 2, and then the ring. So this weapon is percent fizz damage. Accuracy doesn't do anything. Critical damage bonus doesn't do anything, but the lifesteal is cool too. So we like that. So for weapons, what you want is you want percent fizz, flat fizz, attack speed. Those are like the really big things that you want. Life leech is fine too, but those are like what makes a good weapon is if it has percent fizz, flat fizz, and what I mean by flat fizz is adds, you know, adds whatever to whatever physical damage. That's what you want, and then percent increase is what you want to. So, but flat fizz, percent fizz, attack speed. I don't know if attack speed's that big of a deal for Slam, but I think attack speed is one of those things that will just feel really good if you can actually get some. But at least have flat fizz and percent fizz. Those are really big for you. Those are what you're looking for out of weapons. Armor and everything else is like life resists armor. And then my little amulet is 14 strength and a resist. Accuracy at this point, again, doesn't do anything. We have resolute technique. We never miss. We don't crit, but we never miss. And then this little guy is, I'm just bolstering my fire damage reduction with it. That helps. So, again, Act 3 was kicking my butt because it's like a resists check. Once you go through that portal is the main thing. Once you go through that portal, it kicks your butt. I have died 53 times on this character. It felt like half of those deaths were in that once I went through the portal in Act 3. It was pretty funny. But we made it. We made it. But yeah, you're gonna need to get your resist, and one of the ways you can get easy resist is from rings and your charms. So you can switch those things up pretty easily depending on, like, if you're going through a zone, And for example, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys too much. Once you go through that portal, you're gonna need some cold resist. So I put on 2 crappy rings, and then bolstered my other defenses with this. So just keep that in mind. Keep rings around. You're gonna want to roll rings so you can make sure your defenses are in order. But those are my skills. Some things that I'm looking forward to today are trying out Earth Shatter. I actually have notes too. I had Earth Shatter. I have also the idea of dropping Earthquake as like my opener, so that it's like not as slow, right? That's important. We'll try it out, and then we're gonna try to get the 8 strength nodes, and then probably get some 2-handed damage bonus is the plan. So this character is really cool. You got health and damage from strength investment, and the damage from that comes from 2 things. One, it comes from the fact that we have this little node right here, where it's an extra strength, extra strength, extra strength, and then you get 1% increased damage per 15 strength, which at this point isn't doing that much for us, but that will scale. The main reason why strength scales our damage is because then we can equip new weapons, and we can equip 2 of those bad boys, and that's big. So let me show you guys, like, I'm gonna go to a new zone that I haven't done yet, so I might get my butt kicked here. Let me show you guys just a little bit of like the gameplay is the plan. And your first ascendancy, I went with life, and one of the main things with that is you don't have to like go to that ascendancy if you're not ready for it. You can just level up a little bit. Let's do just a teeny bit of gameplay. So a lot of what this looks like for me is jumping on a pack, shouting, and if I can bone shatter him, you bone shatter him. Rolling slam into bone shatter works too. And again, you can just like, you can interrupt the rolling slam a little early, so you can like rolling slam auto if you want to, but a lot of what you're doing at this point for me is either leap slam into bone shatter or rolling slam into bone shatter. And that's just kind of like your bread and butter for a long time as a warrior. It's just bone shattering stuff. Just crushing stuff at that, right? And that's the strat. Give me all this loot. But again, some of the things that I want to try out is this Stampede ability is awesome. I want to try to like Earth Shatter with Stampede. Let's see, make sure don't. These guys are hitting hard. Ah, he's a big boy. I see. I see. But there's a lot of different options, but what I've been doing mostly is just that. Just the rolling slam or leap slam into bone shatters and building up a ton of stun and just letting it rip with bone shatter. These guys are a little tough. So the damage is sufficient, not insane, but one of the things that's really nice is this a leap slam heal. Against bosses, you just chill in that thing, which is cool. Just kind of try to get these guys to be stunnable and then let it rip. Try to find mobs around them. Like that guy was stunnable at like full health, so my stun buildup feels like it's pretty good. Again, this is a new zone for me, so I haven't fought these guys yet. Let's see what's up. Is he on the run? Stun buildup is huge though, and killing everything with that. So, our just looking at our guy, like our recovery is okay, but our defenses are a little weak sauce. There's a bunch of rares in this place too. That's cool. Gotta farm these guys up. That's what we're gonna be doing today, boys. I'm gonna probably actually walk out of this zone, and go ascend. That's like one of our first things on the menu today, is ascending. And we're gonna ascend into hulking form. One of the things that's kind of rough though is we do so much stun that like sometimes they're not they just get stunned by my attacks rather than letting me bone shatter them, but that's whatever. Then they kind of go in the stun DR for a bit. But I've really enjoyed this build a lot. I'm really enjoying the combination of like challenge and progression that this game offers. Hopefully you guys are digging it too. The Path of Exile videos have been doing really well. You guys have been showing them a whole lot of love, which I think is just tremendous. I'm really enjoying making these like build update videos for you guys. I mean, I think we go over a lot of the similar things, but there may be some point where like my abilities that I'm using are changing, or I do some crazy different stuff with my talents. But thankfully the progression of the game is like a little bit like kind of like we'll get a couple levels a day, so I can log in and I can show you guys a little bit of the gear upgrades. I can show you a little bit of the progression path that we did. Maybe grabbed a couple more talents. But what's also fun about the older build diaries is you guys can look up, you know, where we've been at every step of the way, right? So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Hopefully you guys will come hang out with us on stream, on Twitch, and on YouTube, streaming on both platforms. But Twitch is the place where we have the drops. You guys can get some cool, like this little helmet thing that this guy has on right there. And then, of course, if you gift 2 subs to the stream, then you can get a little pet, too, which is pretty cool. He's a little chimera pet. He's a big guy, though, so I don't have him on me right now because it looks like he's chasing me around. It scares me. But where's that little guy? See him right there? It's a pretty cool pet. But either way, we are going to get to work. That's where my character's been. That's where my character's at. That's where my character's going. And I'm excited to get down to business. So we will see you guys on the stream. We have a big day planned. Gonna go ascend and get to work kicking butt and making gains on this character. Maybe, potentially, building into damage at last. We will see. We will see. But thanks for watching. See you guys on the stream. Peace.